As a cold blast of below freezing temps slammed the US,
This is the coldest that we're dealing with in Denver.
it's important for us to protect ourselves and our houseplants.
It's like a tropical paradise in here.
At the same time, it's also an opportunity to redesign the aesthetic look of your collection,
When it comes to those colors that I was telling you about that I just wanted them to pop over here,
while also shining light on some darker areas of your space.
has the Soltex Solutions bulb in it. Despite it being 11 below in the Mile High City at this moment, we're about to heat things up with some new tips and tricks, starting right now. You know how gym people always say, chest day is the best day, bro? Something like that. I don't know. I wish that was the same way that I felt about plant chores day because it is not, guys. It is absolutely not. It's such a marathon, not a race. It is a marathon to get through all this. But that's what we're gonna do, and we're gonna start by just speeding things up.
To prepare for the blast of Arctic air we've been dealing with, it was important for me to rearrange my plants to areas where cold drafts or any other outside elements couldn't impact them. Leading up to all this, it looked like a plant bomb exploded in the middle of my living room as I was deciding which plant would go where. Mind you, not only am I placing them in areas that'll be safest and healthiest for them, but I'm also focusing heavily on the aesthetic look I'm going for. Basically, it's a pretty complex planty puzzle. Because of how miserably cold, dark, and dreary it's been during these winter months, I wanted to add in a lot of color. I want my space to pop to the point where I don't even recognize how frosty it is outside. Inside, I want a tropical paradise. To make this happen, I needed some extra grow light support, especially for those corners that don't get a lot of light this time of year through my western-facing windows. I also added in additional air purifiers to help keep the air circulation flowing as my humidifiers battle it out with the heating system. The higher the heat, the drier the air, and boy oh boy do these babies need high humidity. And that, my friends, brings us to here.
Here being the next day, I decided to call it a night after all that moving around and nonsensical stuff. But I have to tell you, this is the coldest that we're dealing with in Denver so far over the last couple of months. And first time, obviously, in the new year, we are dealing with 84 straight hours of sub-zero wind chill type temperatures. As I'm recording this, it is -7 degrees Fahrenheit outside in downtown Denver right now. From my bedroom window, you can see the icicles that have latched onto my windows. And boy, over at Coors Field, it looks really, really cold. Can't even see the Rocky Mountains off in the distance. But, you know, it's okay. It's like a tropical paradise in here. And I've already put together some of the plants that I wanted over here, some that were currently over here, like this big guy here. But what we're going to do now is we need to focus on these guys or gals for that matter, some more of my climbing plants. And what I want to do is I want to put them over here in this space where I cleared out a bunch of different things so I could put up another grow light, that larger grow light that had been in that corner. I'm not sure if you saw during the time lapse when I put that up higher in a different location, and that's because with western facing windows, I'm getting such little light over here that it's just necessary. And I took the better one, which has the Soltex Solutions bulb in it. That bulb is about $85, and it works wonders. I put that one up higher. And then there's this generic one, I think it's called like Brigade or something like that, but it's got really high reviews. I see it at all the plant shops, and that was only like $12.99. But you can get different versions and deals where it's like 3 bulbs for $20. And I'll tell you, my plants love them all. So what I wanted to do was, instead of just having that as an area where maybe there's like just 2 of the climbing plants, I figured why not put all 3 of them over there. That way we can do up this design a little bit differently. But what I want to do first is I want to clean off their leaves because I haven't had a chance to do that in a while. And we're going to start with my Philodendron Burley Marks Fantasy, which is one of my favorite plants. This plant's leaves are so gorgeous. I mean, take a look at them. They are just this kind of like rubbery texture with this deep dark green. And when they come out new, they shine with almost kind of like a purpley hue for a bit. And I'll tell you, I hadn't cleaned out the leaves for this one in, I would say, maybe 3 months now at this point, and I felt so bad because as I was taking it down off of the area over there, I noticed like just how much dust had been built up over those last couple of months. And mind you, I mean, right now, because here in the northern hemisphere we're in the winter months, we're cranking our air conditioning or our heating units to boost up the heat. And so I know for a fact that having not had my heat on all season long, that so much dust was just blowing out more so than when I have my central air on. By the way, I don't know if you guys noticed, I just love how there's like Monstera constellation over here just chilling on the couch. You know, it's like, this is great. I'm loving seeing everybody else's leaves get cleaned except for mine. Your leaves will get cleaned today, okay, sir? Calm down. Calm down. These Monstera, I'll tell you. The next plant that we're going to do is none other than my Philodendron gigas. And this plant I have had for over 4 years now. It is one of my favorite. And look at that brand new leaf that just came out in the last week. It is beautiful. And it's going to be larger than the last couple of leaves that have come out prior to it. Those leaves are so velvety. They're just absolutely gorgeous. You know what's crazy is that out in nature, these plants were first discovered in 1997 in a rainforest in Panama. These out in nature, their leaves can grow to be 4 feet long. This one, like I was saying, will end up becoming longer than its last leaf on this backside, and that is about 6 inches. So maybe we'll get 7 inches out of that one. But they are such beautiful, beautiful plants, and like I was saying, velvety leaves. What else could you ask for? I mean, it's just beautiful. You know, next up is this beauty here, and that is my Syndapsis Silver Lady. Struggled with her for a bit, but man, oh man, as she bounced back, and look at how beautiful her leaves are. But you know, instead of kind of just going through this one and just kind of washing off its leaves for you guys, and why not just skip ahead to the point where we're going to move them over there? No, please don't skip ahead, Kevin. It's so interesting hearing you talk about plants and watching you clean their leaves. Breath of fresh air, sigh of relief you guys have right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to put them over here, and it's always in good practice, and this is a good houseplant styling tip, it's always in good practice to pair plants in threes. And so with these three climbing plants, what we're going to do is we're going to do that. We are going to put them in threes, but we're going to have the tallest one. Normally you would put the tallest one in the back, followed by the second tallest, and then the shortest one up front. But instead, what we're going to do, if I can maneuver past this bird of paradise, what we're going to do is we're going to put them side by side alongside of each other, and we're going to start with the Philodendron Burley Marks Fantasy. We did it! Yay! So now what we're going to do, because I spent too much time talking about this, is we're going to do a time lapse again to get everything caught up.
Catching up and putting every plant in the perfect spot took longer than I had hoped for, but such is the case with houseplant redesigns, especially when you're constantly having to make sure the temperature inside is high enough while it continues to dip lower and lower outside. When it came time to focus on this corner of my couch, I wanted to switch things up a bit by putting my side table alongside it, along with some more splashes of color to help accent the area. That continued on and on and on while I also did some well-needed sweeping and cleaning. Moving plants around isn't pretty. But you know what it is? The leaves on this Philodendron Dean McDowell. Then I wanted to make sure the Syndapsis I have climbing on my ladder was in good shape by adding some twist tie support. I also had an opportunity to put up this wicker fixture, which allows me to display more of my plants in an area that gets good natural sunlight during the day. Finally, I also added a little support to my Monstera so it wouldn't be bowing in the background, followed by a nice cleanup and putting everything back in order.
Well, that only seemed like it took a million years to complete, but I'm really happy with the way that everything turned out. You know, when it comes to those colors that I was telling you about, that I just wanted them to pop over here, really, really love the combination of pinks and yellows mixed in with some oranges and whites, and of course, the silver that comes from those beautiful, beautiful, beautiful philodendron. And I have to say, one of my favorite parts is actually over here This being my new philodendron patch, where I have some of my philodendron growing down below, and then up above, like you saw in the time lapse there, that is my Syndapsis jade satin that is climbing up that ladder, and that has been one of my favorite things because I just had that ladder just sitting around doing nothing with it really. But over here, like you saw early on in this episode, I was focusing a lot on putting those vertical poles over there with the additional light support, and that was so needed because this area in particular doesn't get much bright light at all, especially this time of year. So adding that in really made a difference, and I love the way that those moss poles look near those lights. It kind of hides the lights in a sense when you really think about it. And then over next to the couch area, I just love this as well because it splashes of neon green, and then of course with my Monstera Thai constellation, you have that beautiful white with speckled green in between, and I just really love the way that it pops. And behind there, what was cool is that I was able to move the plants about another foot forward away from the windows because obviously right now with temperatures being so cold, you don't want them anywhere near the window, so make sure to pull your plants away. And back there, plenty of air circulation, a little mini heater as well, just in case any little cold drafts come in, just to make sure the plants are happy, healthy, and safe. Hey, I want to thank you guys so much again for watching one of my videos. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can see more fun and interesting planty content just like this. I'm curious to know, what kind of redesign have you done so far this winter? Let me know in the comments below. Until then, I'll see you in the next video.